So, I was thinking, like, after the first couple of videos I made and this morning, and I was thinking I had mentioned, something about, I started this channel based on my bodybuilding and stuff, and then things started happening. I mentioned the hurricanes in Florida and then the shooting, and it occurred to me that there might be a really strong possibility based on what a lot of people are saying on social media and stuff. There's a strong possibility that these sorts of things are true, and what I mean by that is and I even hate to almost mention this, but you guys remember a while back when like this Nibiru or whatever this planet was supposed to strike Earth, and then our attention got diverted away from that by hurricanes in Florida, and then that changed into is it environmental terrorism or the government experimenting with weather weapons and this type of thing, and all of a sudden our attention gets diverted away from that with the Las Vegas shooting, and that took up a lot of attention for a lot of people, and so many people were out there saying, we don't believe this is a false flag, this dude's a patsy, this, that, and the other. You guys know all the bullshit. You guys know all the conspiracies. I don't need to go into it again. But I do find it a little bit interesting that right in the middle of everybody saying, everybody's coming up with really, really intelligent theories about this, really, really intelligent comments, really intelligent theories, and all of a sudden this Harvey Weinstein thing comes out, and it's like, it almost, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but it almost does even raise my eyebrows to think, wow, it seems like things happen one after another, almost to divert the public's attention from one thing to another. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so we have hurricanes that the conspiracy theorists said were like military trial weather weapons, okay? And then, or some people said, okay? And then the Las Vegas shooting, and oh God, we all know all the theories about that. So then all of a sudden, since so many people are talking about that, all of a sudden this Harvey Weinstein thing drops. Well, look, people in Hollywood have known this shit for fucking 20 fucking years or more about Harvey Weinstein. Why all of a sudden does it come out now? Now I know, and I don't remember the dude's name. A comedian mentioned, like when it happened with Bill Cosby, people had known for years, and a comedian mentioned it on stage, and all of a sudden that blew up. Okay, but like with this Harvey Weinstein thing, it almost does seem like it's meant to divert our attention away from the massive amounts of bullshit the government is trying to feed us about Las Vegas. They have changed their story, I don't know how many times. The timeline's changed how many times. Intelligent people from the armed services are saying those were not the guns that were used. There's been an overlapping video, actually a few overlapping videos of belt-fed weapons, M240s sounding exactly like the gunfire in Las Vegas, not AK-47 type weapons, not fucking AR type weapons, saying this was a belt-fed weapon, and they're backing that up by saying there's no way to fire 70 to 100 round bursts out of a weapon that holds a clip, no matter how big that clip may be, unless you have like a drum clip. And as far as I know, drum clips don't exceed, to my knowledge, and I'm not a gun expert, exceed 50 rounds. There may be some that hold more. But I believe in a gun that holds that big of a round, that drum would be extremely big. So anyway, like these military guys that I have much respect for, and I do believe they know exactly what they're talking about, are saying, that no, that was a belt-fed weapon we heard, and all this stage, and that feeds into also the leaked footage and these guns they show, and they all look brand new. Like, these guns do not look like they've been shot. I have miniguns. After you take your gun out shooting, even for a day, you can tell that it's been shot all day. Like, it's dirty, it's fucking, the muzzle has fucking, almost like what I would describe as like powdery type burns on it. Not burns, but like you can tell that the gun's been shot. The weapons in that hotel room did not look like they'd been shot. People are saying, why was his, all these magazines he had loaded so fucking far away from where he was, and da-da-da-da-da, and I get that. My question to you guys is like, why in the midst of this almost, and I hate to say it because, obviously, a presidential assassination is a huge thing, but it's something that almost resembles like some type of grassy knoll type of fucking conspiracy, where so many Americans are so intelligent these days, and they see these things, and a lot of their theories are probably correct, and the government's noticing that, and mainstream media is noticing that, and it almost seems like it must raise like some type of oh shit feeling in the people who are presenting these so-called facts of what happened, these so-called timelines, these this one 64, I think 64 60 some odd gentleman, millionaire, owned a jet, fucking lived a nice lifestyle, fucking gambling. Matter of fact, when he bought his home, he listed gambling as his occupation. He has millions of dollars, and I can say, based on my life in general, when you have that much money, and I'm not saying I have that much money, but I'm okay when it comes to money. And I'm not saying money buys happiness or anything like that. But what I am saying is that he doesn't really fit the profile of someone who would go and commit some type of heinous mass shooting crime like this. If my, say for instance, my bank account alone has, in the high six figures, at times has seven figures in it, and I feel like I live a pretty good life. I have multiple cars, I have multiple homes, I have children that have good lives, and I realize he didn't have children, but I'm just saying, I have children, they have a good life, they mean a lot to me. My dog, as you guys know, my dog means the world to me. I love my dog. I'm a strong animal advocate. I donate quite a bit of money to animal shelters and animal rights every year because I truly love animals. It just seems a little strange to me that in the midst of all of this, all of a sudden, something that's been known in Hollywood circles for fucking 20, 30 years, all of a sudden comes out. All of a sudden Harvey Weinstein. Okay, really, why? Okay, why not 10 years ago? Why not 5 years ago? Why not fucking 2 years ago? It almost seems like it's here to divert our attention away from some sort of, I hate to use the words like cover up, false flag, conspiracy perpetrated by the government or people in power. It just seems very, very strange. Yeah, I just dropped that phone. It just seems very, very strange to me that I might even be holding it upside down now. Fuck, who knows? If so, that's funny. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I think I was. Anyway, what I'm getting at is, it really is a strange time to come forth with this Harvey Weinstein stuff. It really feels like it's in order to divert our attention, and they did it in the best way. The one thing, it's like the one thing that people get in a really big uproar about is, sexual harassment, sexual abuse, rape type situations, this type of thing. And it really seems like it's been done in order to divert the American public's attention away from what's going on in Las Vegas. Now, I don't know if that's true. I question why. I have a home in Southern California, in the Palisades. I'm around Hollywood a lot. I'm not saying I had ever heard these rumors about Harvey Weinstein before, because I'm not involved in any type of Hollywood type, movie production or money man things or anything like that goes on in Hollywood. I'm not. But from what I understand, this has been going on for over 20 years, okay? Why all of a sudden now, when the entire United States is in kind of an uproar about what's going on in Las Vegas, we dropped this Harvey Weinstein bomb? Now, I don't know why that happened, and I'll further research it. There may be a very valid reason for that. But just on the outside appearances, to me, it looks as though it's happened because we're trying to divert our attention from something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, so here's like, there's hundreds of people out there, self-proclaimed journalists, and actually guys that are really intelligent, coming forward with these things about, Vegas and what happened here, and it's just pretty fucking strange that in the midst of all these timeline changes and all these new facts coming forward, such as like the security guard was shot before the shooting instead of after, and this gentleman that comes forward saying someone told me to duck in the hallway, and like in the video it reads that Paddock told him to duck, but when he tells the story, it sounds more like he's saying the security guard told him to get down. So it's like, I don't really know if I understood that correctly. But it just reads kind of strange in my mind that all of a sudden our attention has been attempted to be diverted away from Las Vegas with Harvey Weinstein. Here we are. We have the money man in Hollywood. He's a money man. He's not a producer. He's not a director. He is basically the money man. Okay. And all of a sudden, he's basically the guy. If you believe in the dirty circle, he's the guy that and pardon what I'm about to say here, because it's going to be a little bit probably offensive to some people, but he is the guy, okay, that like when all these beautiful women go and audition for a role, he's the guy that's like, hey, I'll get you the role if you suck my dick. Okay, so all of a sudden our attention is attempted to be diverted away from Las Vegas with Harvey Weinstein, but the thing is like, that's not a conspiracy. That happened. People have known for 20 years that's been happening. You can't really divert the American public's attention with something like that. All we're going to do is go, oh yeah, another fucking pervert, when did it start? Bill Clinton sticking cigars up Monica Lewinsky's ass? Did it start with Bill Cosby fucking drugging chicks and raping them for fucking however many years, 30, 40, 50 years? It even went as deep with Bill Cosby as to say, like, fuck, it was going on at the Playboy Mansion and Hugh Hefner knew about it. You know what I mean? It always goes like that. It's always like, as soon as one guy does something, it's like, oh, he knew and he knew and he knew and he knew and he didn't do anything, and all of a sudden they're all villainized too. And pretty soon we get down the list so far that we've forgotten what our main focus, what we were really talking about, which is Las Vegas. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you see this Harvey Weinstein thing. It's just now, really just now taking its footing, like a week ago or something that's dropped. So now we're going to start hearing, fucking, Roman Polanski knew, and fucking, all these other people, all these guys knew Spielberg and Polanski and da da da. I'm not saying they're going to be ones. I'm just naming names. And it's all, I believe, in an effort to divert our attention from Las Vegas. And the only reason anyone would have to do that is if there really was something going on that they weren't telling us, right? I mean, if that's the case, and this is hypothetical in my mind, I'm not basing this on anything, I'm just saying it's kind of coincidental that in the midst of this Las Vegas thing, all of a sudden Harvey Weinstein pops up. It seems like it's in order to divert our attention. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out what people seem to think about that. But it is a little bit questionable. It really is. Why all of a sudden now, after 20 years of knowing? Why now?